I randomly chipped my tooth. Like, I walked into a wall. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, a place where we talk about all things faith, growth, whilst keeping it transparent. I have been away for a while, I know, and I haven't really been consistent with pushing out videos, but I am back and I want to assure you that I will be more consistent this time. Give me one more try. So today, as you can tell from the title, I am giving you part 4 of the testimony series. It's been long overdue and it's just time I talk about it and I share it. First of all, if you haven't watched any of my videos, you need to catch up on part 1 to 3 of the testimony series because this part still ties in with all that. So the last time I spoke about my testimony, it was graduation time, and this part of the testimony backdates before that. So we're going to go all the way back to part 1 of the testimony series, where I said I was feeling pain in my side. So back in 2018, around October, I randomly chipped my tooth. Like, I walked into a door. And the impact of that caused me to chip my tooth. So I had to take time off work and go fix it because my smile wasn't looking cute and I was not about to be looking like, I was trying to find a picture, but I was looking mad. I was moving mad. Like, I could not deal with it. So I booked an appointment to go see a dentist to have that fixed, and whilst I was doing that, I just had a random thought to also check up on my eyes because it had been a while since I had done my last eye check and I was struggling to see through my current glasses. Like, I couldn't see things from afar well, and also even when I was standing close to a computer, like if someone was standing behind me or if I was standing behind me, I wouldn't be able to see things written on the camera or things written on the computer screen, like very close. So I was like, something is off, I need to go check my eyes. When I finished doing my tooth, when I finished getting my tooth fixed, I also booked an appointment to see what do they call these people? An optometrist. Before you actually go in to see the optometrist, they had me do this test beforehand. So you look into this machine and then there's a balloon and I don't know, it takes pictures and I think it gives them a sense of what kind of lens I need. So he had that report and then I went in to see him, and then you go into that thing where it switches lenses and then you choose which one helps you see better, like with the letters on the wall. So we were doing that, and what I was telling him was what I was saying was helping me see. He was like, that's weird because the test that you did beforehand and what you're saying now doesn't correlate, like it's off. So we kept doing it, like we're going back and forth. I had to go back and do the machine test, come back, do that. And he was like, do you always like struggle to find the correct lens? And I was like, yeah, actually 2 years ago when I'd come to that same location to try, the person that I did it with struggled. Like, it was such a challenge for him to find my lens because I was doing the same thing. It was contradicting what I'd done in the machine, and he had to even dilate my pupil, all of that. And so this current doctor I was talking to was like, that guy 2 years ago should have looked further into it because it's not normal to be contradicting what that machine says, and it's not normal to like be struggling to find a prescription, especially since I've been wearing glasses for a pretty long time. So he was just quiet for a moment and he was like, he has a hunch that this may be more than meets the eye. See what I did there? This may be more than meets the eye, and he wants me to go see a specialist. And in that moment, I'm just like, bro, it's not that serious. We came to a consensus. I found a lens that I want. Like, why can't he just write me the prescription and go? And he was like, he could do that, but the way we struggled to get the prescription is not normal, and he just has a hunch that I should follow it up. He has nothing scientific to back it up, and he doesn't have the correct tools to do the tests. So I went to go for the test to go see the specialist. And after the first test, literally I had to do 2 tests. After the first test, the person that did it was like, put a note down for keratoconus, and my heart just sank, because I'm like, Jesus, like, this is not what I need right now. What is keratoconus, and why is it showing up in my life all of a sudden? So we finally finished the test, and I got to see the ophthalmologist. I think that's what they call them, ophthalmologist. And he looked at my results, and he was like, you have keratoconus. Like, have you heard of it? Do you know what it is? And I told him that the doctor prior mentioned it, but he just had a feeling, and he was like, yes, I do. And so he said, it's a disease where your cornea is irregularly shaped, so it doesn't project the light properly onto something at the back of your eye. I can't remember, but mine was like a ball sort of, and it was distorting the images, that my eyesight kept getting worse and worse. So he said in my right eye it wasn't that bad, but my left eye wasn't that bad, but my right eye had gotten pretty worse. Bottom line, I needed to do 2 surgeries, and one of them had to be a transplant. When he said that, I was like, what? Like, I was shocked. I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, no. And so I asked him, like, what if I decide not to do the surgeries? What's going to happen? And he said, I have to do them because my eyesight will continue getting worse, and it could get to a point where I'll be blind. So I'm like, okay, I need to think about it. So I did, and he was like, oh, and the sooner I do it, the better, because I have to go on a wait list to get a donor organ for a cornea. And after I was talking, like, you know what's in the movie, some people are just talking and like you zoned out and you're just like reviewing your whole life. And I was just like, bro, God, this cannot be happening. And so that's what happened. So I went back home, I was thinking about it, and even the cost, it was even expensive too. So I'm like, bruh, like, I really don't need this right now. So I told my parents about it, and so in my mind, I said I was going to pray, because there's no way I was going to do that surgery. I'm like, nope, no one is going into my eye, nothing like that. Fast forward, I ended up falling sick, being diagnosed with tuberculosis. Like, if you watch the first parts, so my eye had to be put on hold. I ended up falling sick. I had to go through a surgery for TB, go through the whole process. And during that time, I was on the wait list for the surgeries, because he was a busy doctor and he only did surgeries once a month. So I had to wait till they called me to tell me that, oh, there's time freed up in his schedule, or I had a donor organ or whatever. So I was just waiting and just praying. Pretty much, I was like, God, take this away. So when I went to the TB, I'm like, God, I really cannot afford more surgeries. I really cannot. Like, my body would just not do it. Like, heal me so I don't have to do it. And so after the whole TB thing, my TB treatment ended in June. In July, I got a call, and they were like, oh, he finally has space in his calendar, but before we do the surgery, we'll have to do another test to make sure, like, they have the latest results on my eyes and everything before the surgeries. So here I was praying. I'm like, God, heal me. Like, when I go for this test, may everything be normal, may everything be fine. Like, you've seen me through tuberculosis, I was going through my school stuff too. I was trying to graduate, and at that point, I think in June, in June, I had finally gotten my confirmation for at that call, I hadn't got the confirmation, so I was still battling graduation. And I'm like, God, the last thing I need right now, to be honest, is a surgery. I can't take it. So I was praying. I went for the eye test, and they were like, I have to do the surgeries as soon as possible. And so I did one of them in July. That was a laser surgery. It's called cross-linking, and the recovery process was supposed to be a week, but mine took longer. because the contact lens they put on afterwards fell off, and it was painful. And during those moments, I remember I had listened to a sermon from Michael Todd earlier on, and he had said that the healing process, what if it's messy? There was something about that. What if God bringing you out of something is messy? And that is the word I held onto, because I would have preferred that God healed me without me having to go through this. But the testimony in this is I was walking around with a disease that was causing my eyes to deteriorate. It took a doctor with a hunch to launch me on a path of healing. And that all happened because I chipped my tooth, because I knew I had to get an eye check, but I kept delaying, and God some way, somehow brought me back on that path. Regardless of the fact that I was going through multiple things, He gave me the strength. He did not take away the fact that I had to go through them, but He gave me strength to go through them. So after that first surgery, which was painful, it reminds me that there are some trials you have to go through, and you choose how you're going to come out of it. You can either choose to learn what God is teaching you through that, or you can let that overcome you. Guys, TB, school, my eyes was a challenging thing, and I went through them all at once. But the kind of fruit it has produced in my life right now, I would not take away that experience for anything. I would not, because I really felt God in the midst of it. And when no one understood the pain, when there was no words to comfort me, to take it away, there was God that strengthened me in the midst of it all. And regardless of what happened, He turned everything for good. Because as I sit here before you right now, recording this video, even though I don't wear my glasses when I record this video, I can boldly say I'm not wearing glasses right now. My eyes are still healing. There are still days where it hurts, but I am still being healed. And it was always a prayer of mine for God to heal my eyes, for God to heal my sight. I did not know that it was going to require a very painful process, but I am grateful that He answered my prayers and that I still went through the process. So the second surgery I had was a cornea transplant. And that surgery, I had it after my graduation. I think like 2 weeks after my graduation. So, because I was not about to have that surgery before grad, no. So after my grad, after the celebration, at the back of my mind, I knew there was one more hurdle I had to go through. So I had that surgery, and the recovery for that, the surgery itself, I was awake. So I was awake when he was operating on my eye. I didn't feel a thing, but I could hear him when he was asking for it, like maybe like a blade. I heard him through it all, and I was just praying throughout the whole process, because I'm like, God, you be the doctor, you take control, you do this operation, because I'm not about to lose sight. And another thing that was a bit scary about this was the fact that my body could reject the donor organ, and that was a huge prayer. I'm like, God, yes, I agreed to go through the surgery, but you need to help me not reject this. Like, no. So yes, that recovery process too took a while. I will put pictures of how I look through it and certain videos I recorded through it, but I sit here today to testify to the goodness of the Lord. The series of events that happened was not by chance. It was not by chance. I haven't even seen the first doctor again. I keep saying in my head that I'll go back and thank him, but anytime I remember what all this has produced in my life, I just can't help but give God the glory and give God the honor. I am a testament that your challenges will not break you. I am a testament to the fact that all things can work together for your good, because whatever this was meant to do in my life, God just helped me conquer them one by one by one, and it was back to back to back, and I am just so grateful. So whatever you may be going through right now, whatever challenges, whatever surprises, whatever curveballs life is throwing at you, I just want to encourage you to hold on to a word, a promise that God has said for you over your life, and believe it and pray it till it becomes your reality. I professed my healing for over 8 months, almost a year, because I was sick for a very long time. But now I'm sitting here living that which I professed, and it's all by God's glory. It's all by His grace. And I just want to encourage you not to lose hope, because the challenge will not be taken away. So just pray that you can walk through it, because He said, when you walk through fire, I will be with you. I have to look for that scripture. For He says in Isaiah 43 verses 1 to... I'll read verses 1 to 3. But now, this is what the Lord says: He who created you, Jacob, He who formed you, Israel, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. So look at the phrase, the word He used: when you walk through the fire. Walking is not a quick thing. He didn't say run. He didn't say speed or even pass. The fire you will walk through, but the flames will not set you ablaze. So this is one scripture I held on to during my trials. I was like, God, okay, I understand that this fire is not going to be taken away and I have to pass through it, but give me the strength to pass through it. Give me the grace, the sustaining grace to stay, and not to pray that this be taken away, but to walk through it, to follow the course. And that is what I pray is your prayer today. Pray that you will be able to walk through it, because you have to. It's not going to be easy. Everybody's fire is going to be different, but walk through it. Stay the course, because He who started a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. This is my testimony, and I hope you are blessed. Have a great day, guys. Bye.